Today's episode is presented by Vampires of the Velvet Lounge in select theaters March 20th from Strand Releasing. Deep in the American South, a back alley absinthe bar harbors a deadly secret. Countess Elizabeth Bathory and her glamorous coven of vampires keep their killer instincts sharp by preying on lonely singles through dating apps, seducing and slaughtering to preserve their youth. But when Elizabeth swipes right on the wrong profiles, a cunning undercover vampire hunter and a band of emotionally stunted bros, the hunt spirals into hilariously horrifying chaos. Wristcutters, a love story producer Adam Sherman writes and directs this hilarious horror comedy that stars Mina Suvari, Stephen Dorff, Tom Berenger, Rosa Salazar, Tyrese Gibson, Lockman Monroe, and more. Don't miss Vampires of the Velvet Lounge in select theaters March 20th. Tickets on sale now. From the executive producers of Stranger Things comes a series that asks the question, are you sure he's the one? Something very bad is going to happen is an atmospheric psychological horror set in the 5 days leading up to an intimate wedding. Starring Camilla Morrone and Adam DeMarco. This isn't just a story about cold feet. It's about the visceral anxiety and mounting terror of realizing you might be marrying the wrong person. As Rachel questions whether Nikki is truly the one, her doubts spiral into something darker, and the show explores the ultimate horror. How can you ever be certain you've made the right choice? It's edgy, and it's not a spoiler if it's in the title. Something very bad is going to happen. The only question is, what is it? Watch Something Very Bad is Going to Happen on March 26th, only on Netflix.
A Mochi moment from Sadie, who writes, I'm not crying, you're crying. This is what I said during my first appointment with my physician at Mochi, because I didn't have to convince him I needed a GLP-1. He understood, and I felt supported, not judged. I came for the weight loss and stayed for the empathy. Thanks, Sadie. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Sadie is a Mochi member compensated for her story.
Hello. Well, you asked for it. Here's a part 2 of the Q&A session. Some of these I hope I'm not repeating. I'm going to try not to, but last time I tried not to skip around too much. Last time I just had a few in a row that were very similar, so I skipped kind of towards the end, but this time I'm going to go in order. So if I answer anything twice, I apologize from last time. Hopefully not twice within the same episode. I hope I'm not that insane. Okay, so this one, I couldn't remember where I left off last time. I think it's here. I think. This is which horror writers made you want to pursue writing horror, and who inspires you now? Initially, when I first started writing horror when I was very young, it was Stephen King, Anne Rice, Edgar Allan Poe. They were all of my inspirations. I wanted to write like Anne Rice mostly, with a touch of Edgar Allan Poe, but with some of the modernity of some of King's stories. Yeah, I guess like an amalgamation of them all. When I was a teenager, I definitely wrote in a way that was too much trying to like mimic other people's writing. And it does say who inspires you now. It's hard to say. since I've written horror, since I was very young, I started writing horror a long time ago. And I'm not saying it was good. I'm not saying I don't want this to come off as if I'm trying to posture myself as some sort of wonderkind of horror. No, I just started attempting writing horror from a very young age. I feel like now I have authors who I enjoy, but I don't know, I couldn't tell you who inspires me writing wise. I'm more inspired by the world around me now. I guess, I feel like that's not fully true, but nobody comes to mind the way that the initial 3 did. So yeah, that is, and again, that's not to say that I'm not inspired by others. I just can't think of any that were like, I don't know, maybe those initial 3 are just still my Mount Rushmore. I think there are 4 people on Mount Rushmore, so I guess I would need to add a 4th. But they're just still knocking around in there. Me trying to become one of them. What kind of music are you into, and what was the last artist you went to see live? So the last artist I went to see live was Baby No Money. It was a lot of fun. I will say I had never heard of him before I went to this concert. A friend invited me, and I didn't want them to go alone because their fiance could not go with them for scheduling reasons. And I was like, I'm just usually kind of down for everything these days, which is, it's new for me. I did not used to be this way. I was very much a very avoidant, antisocial person. But these days, I'm not. So I said, of course, I will go. And I did. And I had a fantastic time. It turns out I had heard a few of Baby No Money songs on TikTok. I got a drink and I danced and I had a great time. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. For my favorite, though, as much fun as I did have at that, I did go to a different concert in December that was absolutely incredible. And that was the K-Rock Almost Acoustic Christmas at the Kia Forum. That was another one I was invited to by my friends, the Shans. And that it was, oh my God, it was so amazing. People who live in Southern California know what K-Rock is. It's like the biggest rock radio station. And every year they put on a concert called Almost Acoustic Christmas. And this year the lineup was, I have the lineup in front of me, All American Rejects, Evanescence, Papa Roach, The Paradox, Rise Against, Social Distortion, Third Eye Blind, Wet Leg, Yellow Card. I mean, it was essentially my youth in a concert. So I had a blast. I'm not a big concert goer. I have nothing against concerts. In fact, honestly, I probably, if you would have asked me even a year ago if I liked concerts, I probably would have said no, not really. But after going to a few pretty close together, I think I love concerts. The old Almost Acoustic Christmas was so fun. Plus, getting to see Evanescence live. I mean, they went on at like 10:30 p.m. and it was transcendent. Speaking of that last question where I talked about like writing horror from a young age, I remember some of my favorite memories are sitting at my little computer, clickety-clacketing away on this specific story that I wrote that I miss so much. I miss it so much. I wish I had a copy still. It was unfortunately destroyed by someone. I still couldn't tell you why. It was... Anyway, we're not going to get into that. My only copy was destroyed, though. And I have this memory of writing the final scene or like the climactic scene of that and blaring Evanescence on my stereo. And it was just like I was writing to the music. The story's probably not good. If somehow a copy found its way to me somehow, I'm sure it's not good. But it was it's one of my core memories. And one of my core memories is of writing and writing to Evanescence. So going to this concert, seeing them live was, oh my God, it was incredible. I mean, seeing all of it, it was really cool. Like Third Eye Blind has just been around for forever, and it was just neat to see them. And all of them sounded great. It was just such a cool moment. Even if you have to pay $50 for parking at the Kia Forum. Well, not at the Kia Forum. I had to park down the street because the Kia Forum also does not have enough parking. Hashtag just LA things. Whoops, I started to move on to the next question. I forgot this question actually asked, what kind of music am I into? And I'm into like everything. I have phases. Like last month, I was really into going on really long walks, listening to like 90s rap, 90s, early 2000s rap. Sometimes I'll go through phases where I only listen to musicals. Like I have a certain musicals playlist that I listen to. Like it's basically like the same like 5 musicals. And sometimes I will go through other phases. I just go through phases of, I'm very open to a lot of stuff. Oh, like last time I was driving home from my family's, from my hometown, which is like a 4.5 hour drive. I listened to old country, like old country, like back in the day, Hank Williams Sr. type old country, when they still talked about cowboys. I love like Poncho and Lefty is one of my favorite songs. I've always wanted to like write a story based on that. I mean, the song is a story in of itself, and like Marty Robbins and like all that really old country about cowboys. Essentially, I don't think I've ever listened to any new country other than it just being around sometimes. But my country loving, like I liked a bunch of stuff in the 90s. I remember because my mom listened to it a lot. But I really love old country. And I'll go through a phase where like I just listen to that for a whole day while I'm driving, running around doing errands. And lately I've had a playlist, and it's basically like The Offspring radio on Spotify. Like it's The Offspring and Green Day and Linkin Park, System of a Down, My Chemical Romance, of course, Limp Bizkit, Sublime. I love Sublime. And so that I've been listening to a lot of that, just The Offspring radio. That's what I've been into lately. So yeah, I go through, all my playlists are very eclectic as well. So that doesn't super give you a great answer. Everything. It's funny, a lot of people I guess will usually say like everything except rap and country. I would even listen to like, I'm sure I'll go through like a polka phase at some point. I have very eclectic music tastes. Okay, next question. I am a neurodiverse aspiring writer. I am currently unmedicated and I struggle with consistency and motivation. Do you have any tips on how to stay focused and consistent when writing? I wish I had healthy ways to stay focused and consistent. I'm also unmedicated currently, and as many know, I have ADHD. I was diagnosed as a child. One of the few girls, I guess. So funny, I didn't know until I was older that it was less common for girls to be diagnosed as children, because I was one of the girls who got diagnosed as a child. So that was news to me when I got older. But I was medicated for a long time when I was a kid and a teenager, but I'm not now. And to stay focused, honestly, I'm not a very focused person. Ask anyone I know. I get off on, listen to any podcast that isn't this one that I've ever been on. I talk in tangents. I am not a very, I do stay focused mainly because I have to, just for my livelihood. And I'm very hard on myself mentally. That's why I said initially, like, I don't know if I have any healthy ways to tell you to stay focused. I'm just really like mean to myself, honestly. Like, that's what I do. I'm not saying to do this. I'm not even gonna give you examples, but that's basically the only way that I've learned to cope. It's not good. Don't listen to me. This isn't advice. You did ask for tips. Tips, I guess, you have to have a passion for it, and it's really hard to sit and write. And consistency, if someone else gives you tips on consistency, can you come back and give them to me? Because I don't have any. I'm so sorry. Did I mention up top that it's 100 degrees here today, and you may hear the white noise of my air conditioner kicking on and off? I apologize. I actually love the sound of like an air conditioner or a fan or something. There's this one ASMR I listen to, and she has like a big like fan she moves in, or not fan, I think it's an air purifier actually, but she moves it like in and out of the microphone, and it's like the most soothing thing to me. But I do have my air conditioner on, so if you hear that, that is what that is. What fuels your passion for horror-related stuff? Is the next question. I don't know. As I've mentioned, it's always been there. It's always been there. My mother's side of the family is very, they're big believers in the paranormal. So I think a little bit of that has always been linked to horror. Like, she's always watched like ghost movies. She loves like ghost horror movies. She's not really into anything else but that type of thing. And it's just always been there. Like, even when we were really young, my brother and I, because my brother's into it as well, not as much as me, but he's more into the paranormal like aspect of it. But my mom like would buy us like Edgar Allan Poe books. I remember we had this like set of books when we were young, and like she like specifically showed us the Edgar Allan Poe books back in the 90s. You would order like sets of books from the TV, and it would be like sets of classics, but they were like kind of edited for children. Anyway, she specifically like showed us the Edgar Allan Poe one because she loved Edgar Allan Poe. And my brother and I were just really into like scary stuff. We would always love like the Halloween versions of our cartoons, or like if there was ever like a ghost or whatever episode of our like kid shows, you know? And so I don't know what fuels it. I feel a little on the outskirts of things in the horror community because, for instance, like I don't have a lot of like horror merchandise. I'm not really into like shirts with like Freddy Krueger's face on it or anything like that. And it's not for any reasons. I don't do it to be contrarian or like different. It's just, I've always loved antique-y looking things and florals. And so even around my home, you can see the background in all of my YouTube videos. It's a bunch of old stuff. I love antiques and things. And I remember growing up, I was always like, I want to live like I'm in a horror movie, not like I'm a fan of a horror movie. I remember having that thought a lot like growing up. So it's just always been there. I don't know what fuels it. Something in my DNA. Who knows? But it's just always been there. And it hasn't even ever come in phases. It's just always been here. And I just find a real comfort and beauty in horror that I just never fully get from other genres. Next one, not a question, but just popping in to tell you I have a ginormous crush on you. That's all. Good day. Thank you. Next is, I have always dreamed of writing a good scary story. We've all heard tips like write what you know. But what other tips do you have for writers looking to dive into the horror genre for the first time? Love the podcast and recipes forever. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you love the podcast and the recipes. Let's see, tips for writing in the horror genre for the first time. Wow, it's so funny. None of these, I don't think these are all clearly written by different people, but there's a theme here. So going back, I've always written horror. I've always written scary stories. So I don't know how to delve into it other than tips I do have are scaring yourself. Like sitting there by yourself and scaring yourself. Like The Charred Man is one of the best examples I can give. And maybe if you're newer to the show, The Charred Man is a story I wrote. It's one of the first episodes. It was also on the No Sleep podcast. It's also on Reddit. I wrote it for Reddit. But the way I thought of The Charred Man was, I had this old apartment, and the way that it was situated was there was this teeny little, honestly useless patio. You couldn't do anything with it. But there were sliding glass doors going to this tiny little useless patio. And so, at night, and the way that my TV was, you would kind of be, if you were looking at the TV, the sliding glass doors were also in your line of sight. So I would be sitting there at night, and there was one night where I just scared the shit out of myself. I was looking past the TV, and I was like, what if I saw this thing? And the image of what I then ended up describing as the charred man came to my mind. I don't know why. It was just this thing that I thought of, and I was like, what if I just looked over and it was just there? What would I do? What do you do? And I was by myself, and so I was like, where do I go, And so I just thought of like how terrifying that would be. There were parts of Limes that were also like that. There was a particular part near the end of Limes where we find out what happened to Robbie that I had heard about in a certain like true crime case, and I thought it was horrifying. And so I kind of incorporated that. Is things that do scare me, things that really affect me. I don't necessarily self-insert for my protagonists. I don't believe I've ever done that. Maybe, I can't say never. Again, hindsight. I've talked about hindsight, looking back at my work and being like, ooh, there was my subconscious. But I don't really find it much enjoyment in self-insertion and like main characters. Honestly, I've got such a vivid imagination, and I do like maladaptive daydreaming ever since I was a child. So like, I don't need to self-insert. I have my own thing going on in my head. I have my own storyline going on. That is no one's business, okay? It changes it changes over the years, but it's not your business. But anyway, so I don't really self-insert. So I don't mean like what scares you, and then some people do very well. There's a whole website called AO3 where self-inserting yourself as a character is the bread and butter over there, and it's delightful. But I'm trying to say, you don't have to like be like, this is what scares me, so this is what this character needs to be me, if that makes any sense. This is really convoluted. Teaching I don't think is my strong suit, and I've suspected that over the years, but I think doing these Q&As when I get asked for advice or tips, it's incredibly apparent. I don't think I'm very good at teaching. I'm so sorry. I hope any of this advice is good or helpful that I've given throughout this whole episode, but it's so hard to put what's in my brain into words unless I'm putting it into a story. So tips, yeah, and like you said, write what you know. Okay, so this is going to get a little crazy. So write what you know. Of course, you can write about like your own occupation. I mean, how many horror novels have you read where the protagonist is a novelist, right? So it gets a little old, at least to me. I get a little like, I roll my eyes a little bit. I don't think it's to the point where you need to write exactly what you know, but I feel like you can find your style in that way, and it's not so literal of a phrase, Like, I love people. I find people fascinating. I've told you all many times, if you find me at a horror convention, I will talk your ear off. I find people fascinating. I love people watching. I could sit on a bench in a crowded place for an entire day and eavesdrop and people watch. I love it. It's like the only thing I do miss from working like retail jobs is interacting with different types of people. Obviously, it's also a nightmare most of the time, but it's still fascinating. And different coworkers and things. So what I know is that I love people, and I love the trivialities of being a person in the world and quirks and things like that. So a lot of my stories have ended up becoming character studies, maybe that's too strong of a term to give it myself, but they're about people. Think of Frosting as one of my most popular stories. It's about annoying coworkers, and it's about someone who snaps. Whether she's justified in her snapping is up to interpretation, but all these people, and the reason I feel like people do they like my stories is because I write what I know. I write people. I feel like I do know people pretty well. And so in that way, I'm writing what I know. Does that make any sense? Again, I don't know if I'm good at this tips and tricks thing. And again, people may not be your thing. Like, I'm terrible at naming characters. I'm terrible at describing, at physical descriptions. You may notice most of my characters do not get described physically. For one, I like people to just use their own imaginations and, put in their own images as puzzle pieces. Some of them I do, like Araceli. She has some pretty distinct physical attributes because of what she's been through. And I would also, honestly, this has actually prompted me to ask, I would love to know if there are any of my stories that people love. What do you think the characters look like? What do they look like to you? I bet they look so different to different people. So I would love to hear in the comments or wherever, what do some of my characters look like to you? If any are like something that really stood out to you in your brain and you have like a real picture of them. Sorry to hijack your question to ask my own question of the audience. Okay, next is, I don't have a question, but I wanted to tell you that as someone who has listened to Scare You to Sleep for years, I'm so excited for you and how you are absolutely killing it. You deserve every ounce of the success you are having. Bloody Disgusting, while fantastic, is lucky to have you. This is so kind of you to say. I work a lot, and I am really trying to build a life, a life for myself. This isn't just a side gig. This is my whole life. This is my whole livelihood, and I need to hear that sometimes. So thank you. I don't have someone in the household to be like, you're doing great, champ, So it's really nice to hear that. I appreciate it. And you can tell Bloody Disgusting anytime you'd like that you think they're lucky to have me. At Be Disgusting on Instagram. It's so, you don't have to do that, but if you did, I wouldn't be mad about it. Next, hey, would you like to get a beer and talk about how Skinamarink is one of the best movies of the last decade? That sounds like a dream. What a dream afternoon. I've been getting a lot of flack for my love of Skinamarink lately. If you listen to the Bloody Disgusting podcast, we had Hometown Ghost Stories on. They're great. I loved them. But oh boy, when they found out I liked Skinamarink, did I get roasted. I've been roasted a couple times. There's like another show I was on recently too, where I got roasted about it. I never claimed to have good taste in horror movies. I just said I love horror movies. And I also think Skinamarink is fantastic. But yes, that sounds lovely. I don't know who you are, and this is probably not going to happen, but hypothetically, yeah, that sounds great. Next, if you could only watch one horror movie for the rest of your life, what movie would it be? I thought about this one already, so I have a quick answer, and it is Pan's Labyrinth. I don't know if Mr. Del Toro himself would consider it a horror movie. I think he's maybe said it's not before. However, I consider it one, and also my Spanish would improve exponentially, and my grandma would be so happy about that. Plus, it's just beautiful to look at. I mean, I could just watch it over and over. Hi, Shelby. I love your show so much. Thank you for everything you do. I hope you realize how many people you help with this show. That's really nice of you to say. Anyways, what are your top 3 video games, if you have any? I do. My top 3. These are the 3 games I've put the most time into, so I'm assuming for my own self, these would be my top games because I spent so much time in them, in their worlds. And that would be probably number 3 would be Fallout 4. Number 2 would be Red Dead Redemption. And number 1 would be The Witcher 3. I'm playing The Witcher right now. And yeah, those are my top 3. There's also games though that I really love that like stuck with me, but I didn't put as much time into them because they're shorter games. Like there's one called What Remains of Edith Finch. If you ever come across that on like Steam or PlayStation, and I think that one's on sale pretty often. It's a short game, beautifully done. The story has stuck with me for years. I played it when it first came out years ago, and amazing game. And then like if you like horror, like the Fears to Fathom games are so much fun. They're so spooky. Like playing by yourself at night. Oh my god, they're so scary. But they're really short, so it's hard to put in my top 3 just because the other 3 are like big, sandbox games where you spend so much time. And so yeah, those are my top 3. Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Fallout 4. Are there any fan-submitted true horror tales that have really stuck with you? Oh, man, I can't think of any right now. I know they do, though. They usually stick with me for like that week or like that evening. Anything like the shadow monsters, there have been some where I don't think I remember them because I've like memory hold them on purpose. Like there are some that I will read and I'll be getting chills and like looking over my shoulder. I have this, I've mentioned it. I have a big Phantom of the Opera poster by my desk. It's the Carl Laemmle, it's the Lon Chaney one, the old one. And it's huge. And a lot of it is like dark colored, like black and red. And so at night, it just becomes like a mirror and I can see behind me, and I can't look at it while I'm reading some of those stories because I just know there's going to be someone behind me. It's so scary. Sometimes Clara will get up on the back of my office chair and she'll look at herself. At least I got to tell myself that. She'll see herself in the reflection and she'll like react to it kind of. And I'm like, she's just seeing her own reflection and she's reacting to that because I feel like she can see something. But this wasn't fan submitted. This was the scariest lately true horror that has stuck with me. Well, no, some of them were fan submitted, so this does count. The fucking Santa Claus stories. The Santa Claus stories. You guys, why? I was on Nightlight recently, my friend Prince's show, and he brought it up. He was like, I listened to that Dark Reddit episode. He mentioned like the Santa Claus, and I was like, I know. Like those were really scaring me. I was waiting for we decided Egregore Santa Claus to appear in my living room and be like, bitch, are you talking shit? Like something. I was so scared of Santa Claus. I'm scared of Santa Claus now, you guys. Like the Egregore version. I don't know. It's very scary. Yeah, you can laugh. It's okay. This one got submitted a couple times. I don't know if it's by the same person. But why no setup of the atmosphere you did in a previous Dark Reddit? It was like we went to the fair, if I'm not wrong. It was so great, and I would love to hear more episodes like that. I think it could work for true horror, too. I don't remember that, and I've done so many Dark Reddits by this point, but I think maybe one time I had fun with it and made it more immersive. And that probably was cool. Sometimes I'm afraid they're a little cheesy, and I'm afraid of the intros these days. I got so much hate for a while about the long intros that I've really tried to like tighten up those intros and just jump into the content and then leave the other stuff for the end. But I'll have to find, if you know what episode that was, let me know, because I'd love to go re-listen and hear what I did. What's your favorite song lately? I would say Doomsday Blue by Bambi Thug. I actually haven't really listened to anything else they've done. I don't know much about them. But that song is, I will listen to it over and over and over again. There's something about it. It scratches an itch in my brain that is so satisfying. But again, that's Doomsday Blue by Bambi Thug. Do you have any true crime stories that hit different because it feels close to home? Mine is the Jason Sweeney murder in Philly. I never met him, but we were the same age, same neighborhood, knew a lot of the same people. Then his friends brutally killed him. It was a huge deal here. None that I can think of. My dad worked in law enforcement, so like I heard about a lot of cases and things growing up, so it's hard to pick out like one exactly. So I can't think of a singular one, but I did grow up around a lot of true crime before it was like a thing because of the nature of my dad's job. So yeah. Hello. This one starts hello, so I guess you're from a land far away. I won't guess which one, but from a land far away. I just wanted to say that I love you and the show. Have been listening since late 2020, and it feels like I've been with you through so much, both in my life and in yours, from what you tell us, LOL. Is that creepy? I hope not. I don't think that's creepy at all. You have been. You've been with me through a lot of stuff. What a different life I lead. What a different person I am these days. And I'm sure you are as well. And I have that with some, like I met a lot of friends, a lot of my friends through the Last Podcast on the Left Facebook group. So I was a huge fan of Last Podcast on the Left. Met all these people in this Facebook group, and now some of them are like my IRL friend. The friend I went to to the Baby No Money concert, her and her fiance, I met them through the Last Podcast on the Left groups. So I understand what it's like to have like a podcast or some sort of creator, and it feels like they've been with you through so much. So I totally get it. Yeah. How is your weekend going so far? As I'm reading this, it's not the weekend. It is Wednesday. But my week is going pretty good. So thanks for asking. How's yours? This is the next one, by the way. As an insomniac from birth, yes, literally, your show has been helping me sleep for months now. It's my perfect way to unwind from the day as someone who takes comfort in the horror genre. Sending love from Chicago. I appreciate that. I also take comfort in the horror genre, and I would love to go back to Chicago someday. I have only been once for the live show I did a few years ago with the Creepy Podcast and SCP Archives. And when I didn't really get to see Chicago, I basically saw my hotel room and the Music Box Theater. Oh, and Wrigley Field, because I was across the street from Wrigley Field. I didn't get to go to a game, though. It was off season. But I haven't seen anything else in Chicago. And I'd love to go back. Not that you were, like, inviting me. You're like, whoa, coming on a little strong. No, I'm just saying I would love to go back at some point. Okay, next. No crimes committed yet. My question is, if you were a serial killer, what would your style be? Do you torture like BTK, guns, knives, etc.? Not to be a total wet blanket, but I just couldn't be a serial killer. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. Even like this, I think I'm just getting old in my sense of mortality is more intact than it once was. I definitely would have had an answer for you years ago, but these days, I don't know. I don't. I'm sorry. Oh, this is another one. I think I answered this already last time, and I mentioned it was asked a few times in different ways. How is Clara? She's great. She's doing great. Would you ever get a second cat? A dog? I would love to. I answered this last time, so really quickly, I would love to. I need more space. So, again, if you want to buy me that haunted mansion, you can get another cat and a dog. Next is, do you still do any acting? No, I assume you mean like the traditional sense on screen. I didn't even back then. I know I've been in some stuff like Arrested Development, which I've mentioned a million times, and a lot of you have seen me, and I sometimes will get messages where you've seen me in Modern Family. I did extra work for many years, so I was in a lot of TV and movies, like a lot. Like every day would practically be a new production that you'd be on. Or sometimes it'd be like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was on set for like a week and a half. Same with like Ford versus Ferrari, those big budget things, you would be at the same place for a long time. But I never auditioned for anything. I never set out to be an actor. if I'm going to be totally honest with you, it's because it looked too scary. Not the acting part. Acting doesn't scare me one bit. Like, it's no problem for me. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's never been scary to me, but it's the whole rigmarole around it. The auditioning, finding a manager, becoming SAG. It's like a whole thing. And then on top of that, you're really not making enough money to live at all. Doing background, you meet a lot of, or being an extra in the industry, it's called background, and you say doing background. You meet a lot of different people from different walks of life, and I met a lot of really struggling actors, and my hat's off to them to have I didn't have the passion for acting to be willing to do all that, honestly. I liked acting when I got to do it, but any of the fun, like, more, it's called featured extras, what I would do if you've, like, seen me in something. You would get paid a little extra money that day, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, whenever I would be that, I never auditioned for anything. I had a call service who would send me out to jobs. They had my measurements, they had my pictures, they had my, you know, like my hair color, my eye color, like all the different jobs I'd done. You even had to send in like what wardrobe you had, like if you owned a wedding dress, or if you owned roller skates, or what skills you had. Could you do yoga? And if you could do yoga, could you do it for 12 straight hours? Because that's how long a filming day is. Could you swim? Were you willing to work at night for night shoots? Were you willing to smoke fake cigarettes? Were you willing to just a whole laundry list of things. Were you willing to cut your hair was a big one. And so they would send me out to jobs, and every single time, like the Arrested Development one's probably like my most like on-screen thing. I had no fucking idea I was doing that until I showed up that day. And they were like, "You're the girl." And I was like, what girl? And they're like, we gotta, and I have tattoos that are visible in a bikini. In the show, I'm in a bikini. And so they were like pissed at me because they're like, well, you have tattoos. Because a lot of times they wanted you to not have tattoos because they have to cover them. So then they were pissed at me, and they had me in the makeup trailer, like covering my tattoos. I probably told this story before. And so I met Michael Cera. Well, so one of my tattoos is on the front of my, like by my hip bone, like on the front of my hip bone. Like it sits like right above my underwear. It's like half cup. It's like an American traditional swallow. And I had my hips up, thrust up. I was like, had my back in the makeup chair in the seat part with my hips up in the air in a bikini. And it was like 5 a.m. and it was freezing. We were in Marina Del Rey, and they were covering this fucking tattoo that I didn't know I didn't know. And Michael Cera walks in and was so kind. He was so nice. He was like, oh, I guess we're scene partners today. He was so nice. And he was very, he made sure like I had to be in the pool a lot that day, and it was freezing outside when I filmed that. And he made them stop production at one point because he was like, she's been in the pool too long. She needs to be able to come out and take a break. Because extras are like the lowest of the low on set. Like you're treated like some of the stuff that happened to me on these sets, like you would be shocked. Like you're treated like absolute dog shit. They will talk to you in any way. Oh my God, they'll talk to you in any way. But he was very kind. He and the director tried to give me lines, but I wasn't SAG at the time. I'm still not SAG. I'm SAG. It's what's called a must join actor. People in the industry out there know what I'm talking about. I got a letter that was like, hey, you've done too many SAG projects without actually being SAG. You better join. But that was years ago. And I had no reason to really join SAG because, again, not really an actor. I would love to, but the whole game of it looks exhausting. You really have to have a passion for it. And my hats, my clothes, my shoes, everything's off for actors and the dedication they put into their craft because it is a lot. Beside water, what is your favorite beverage? That's fun. Let's see. I have many. I love beverages. I love coffee, hot and cold. I love Diet Coke. Every day I'll have a coffee and a Diet Coke. Sometimes I don't have sometimes I don't have one or the other, but most days I'll have a coffee and a Diet Coke. usually not at the same time. Coffee in the morning, be it cold. Sometimes I make a little latte, or I'm usually Americano because I don't like that much milk, with some instant espresso because I don't have an espresso maker. I would love one, but I don't have one. Especially as I used to be a barista. I used to love making like really good espresso drinks, and or just drip coffee. I love fucking love cheap ass diner coffee. Like shitty diner coffee. I love it so much. I love it more than fancy coffee. And I've had every fancy coffee. Not every fancy coffee. I've never had that one that gets like pooped out by that wild cat or whatever. But I have had many fancy coffees, and I always go back to shitty coffee. I drink Folgers every day. That's what I drink. And you get me into diners are some of my favorite places in the world. You get me in a diner, the cup of shitty diner coffee. Ugh, magic. So yeah, coffee, Diet Coke. I love iced tea. Like right now I actually made a really good iced tea today that's like tropical. I combined 3 different teas, brewed them, chilled it. It's like one of them's pineapple mango. One of them is like a passion fruit. And then I did a couple just plain black tea bags. Amazing iced tea. And also beer. I love beer. I love blonde beer. I love most beer. I'm not a big IPA gal, I will say. Just not. But I love beer. So those are all my favorite beverages. Thank you for asking. I don't know if anyone's ever asked me what my favorite beverage is before. Oh, also, love an iced latte with coconut milk. I drink dairy. I have no problems with dairy. But just sometimes an iced latte with coconut milk, on a hot day, beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. And if you ever see me at a convention, if you brought me a Diet Coke, you would be my best friend for life. So many of these convention centers, too, have gone to where they only carry Pepsi products, but you also can't bring in outside beverages. And I'm sorry, I hate Diet Pepsi. I'm okay with regular Pepsi, but I don't really drink regular sodas anymore. I hate Diet Pepsi. I only like Diet Coke. Or Coke Zero I'll do, too, as well. But, like, I don't know why these convention centers. I don't understand. Next one is, who were you in a past life? My family thinks I would have been a serial killer in a past life. Did we cover past lives last time? Whether I believe in them or not. I think we may have. I don't know. But I think I mentioned last time that I used to do like the past life regression videos on YouTube to try to like find out what my past life was. Because for a while I was like really into it. And I swear every time I looked down and I was wearing like leather shoes and there was dirt. Pretty sure I was like, if there are past lives, I'm pretty sure I was like a peasant in most of them. And because of my current life and my autodidactic nature, that's probably not a correct way to phrase that, ironically, but because of that, I think maybe I was someone very learned in a past life, someone who was very scholarly at some point, maybe kind of a while ago. That's why this one, I'm not very good at school, but I love learning and I love reading. And yeah, maybe some sort of like nutty professor in some sort of life. Probably a peasant in a lot of them, though. I won't lie. This is fun though. Like, what? Okay, you guys know me pretty well by now. I'm a pretty open book. What do you think I was in a past life? I'm asking so many questions. What do you think I was in a past life, judging based on how you know me today? I want to know. Tell me. I'm really interested to hear that.
Critics and audiences agree.
What the hell is this place?
Only 3 letters describe they will kill you. WTF.
Splendid.
USA Today calls it bloody and bonkers.
Are you ready to die?
IGN declares it's electrifying action cinema and popcorn entertainment to the max.
How many of you are there?
It begs to be seen in a packed theater.
Please remember to clean up the blood. Wow.
They will kill you. Only in theaters March 27. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
What is your favorite stories to receive and read from your submissions? Proofread ones. That may be simplistic. I can't tell you what subject matter wise. I like a lot of different things. I'm always in different moods for things. But stories that have been proofread would be excellent. I highly suggest you read your stories out loud, even if it feels crazy. Just read it out loud, not like just reread it with your eyes. Reread it, say the words out loud. You'll find your spelling errors, and not just spelling, but grammatical errors. You'll also find, this is a big pet peeve of mine, whenever there's like a character, I'll just use my own name, Shelby. Shelby saw the red door, and then Shelby decided to walk towards the red door. And then Shelby said, maybe I shouldn't go to this red door. Shelby thought. It's like you overuse their name in the paragraph. I hate that too. You asked what I like, and I told you what I hate. I love it when people don't do that. There you go. That's what I like. How did you learn to create sound effects and design soundscapes? I taught myself. I went to good old YouTube University. I learned how to do it myself. I downloaded the only free software I could find, Audacity, and I still use her today. And I started watching YouTube. Every time I would come to a new type of thing I wanted to do, like an echo or reverb or whatever effect I wanted to do, or like someone being on the telephone, I would then look it up. And over the years, I've just acquired all of these skills. I wouldn't compare myself to an actual sound designer, but I have acquired a lot of skills, I think. And when it comes to soundscapes and things, I got really into Foley for a while. I always wanted to be a Foley artist. Speaking of background, one time I was at Universal, and I actually had to walk by like the Foley building, and the big doors were open, and they were like working on something, and I was like, oh, I would love to do that for a living. I would love to be a Foley artist. And if you go to freesound.org, I've mentioned this before, I have an account there, and it's Shelby Shark, and you can find some of my sound effects. I haven't uploaded there in a long time, but there's still a lot of, you can hear me brushing my teeth, eating toast, one of the squeaky floorboards from my old apartment. I have a lot of sounds there, and I have some like just like wah, 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 like horror ambiance kind of stuff. I should do that more. I miss doing that. But yeah, I'm all self-taught. Just wanted to say that I greatly enjoy your writing and how you perform stories you have written. There's an extra oomph to the horror that feels extra visceral. Thank you. That comes down to cadence, I think. Another genre of person that I have a lot of respect for is audiobook narrators. So people write in so many different ways. Obviously, we all have different kind of cadences to the way we speak and to the way we write. So one reason I think it's just a little more oomph when I write it, because I'm reading the way I think. I think in this way, so it's easier for me to really like dig in. There have been some stories that are such great stories, and it is no fault of the author. It is just on me. The way they write doesn't match with the cadence that I think and express in. So I will like have a really tough time getting through those particular scripts or stories, because it's like I'm having to find the rhythm of the way the author is speaking by speaking out loud. I said before, read your stories out loud, and you'll find that you have a rhythm. And this is not a thing to improve or change. Everyone needs to have their own rhythm. There's no problem with having a different rhythm than the way I speak. I need to adapt better, and I think I've gotten better at it over the years. And that's why I say like audiobook narrators who do just audiobooks for a living, they find that rhythm every time for different authors. And I think that's a beautiful skill to have and to acquire and to hone over the years. And I feel like I've started honing it in, but that is why my stories have an extra oomph. It isn't even because I prefer the story. It is because of the cadence of the way my brain goes. What is a horror situation you would like to experience at least once in your life? Seeing a full-bodied apparition. That is what I would like to do. Hi, Shelby. This isn't really a question, but I'd love if you replied to it in the episode. I've been watching you since I was around 13, and I'm 16 now. I want you to know that by listening to your podcasts, you honestly helped me through a really rough time, even if you don't know it. I appreciate that, and that's one thing that's so crazy about the show being around for so long. Like, the time just snuck up on me. I have had other people who are like, I started listening to you from this age and now I'm this age. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my goodness, I have grown, you've grown, and I have grown, and we've all grown together, different points of our lives. And I think that's beautiful. I'm also sorry because I feel like some of my subject matter isn't appropriate for 13-year-olds. So my bad, but I also thank you for sticking around, and I hope you're doing much better now. I hope you're over that rough time, and I'll be here. Ooh, okay. So I asked for questions, comments, and confessions, if you remember. And I didn't get really any confessions, but I did get this, and I have some things to say about it. I got laid off before Christmas and haven't told my wife yet, but my side gig is paying the bills, so I'm hoping I can find new work and can pretend nothing ever happened. You go tell your wife right now. Go tell your wife. I have tried to keep some things just a little private from my previous life, but this happened to me. However, I will say you are doing one better because you say your side gig is paying the bills, so that's great. That's fantastic. I wasn't so lucky with my spouse, but to find out that you have been lied to, because lying by omission is a lie, is so devastating. It can be, and I promise you it is as devastating to some people. I am one of those people. I'm not saying everyone. I am one of those people, as cheating, because that has to do, I have a lot of financial insecurity. And so when it comes to lying about employment and not coming to me and letting us come up with a plan of action, it shows that you didn't trust me, first of all. And second of all, you selfishly chose your own comfort over me getting to choose what I do for myself, the next steps I do for myself. I'm putting myself in your spouse's shoes right now. In your, you did say wife, your wife's shoes right now. Because you're basically, I'm glad your side gig is paying the bills. That's great. And I do hope you find another gig. I hope you even have by now. I think this was sent in quite a while ago. Tell them. It's not fair to them to not know, to not be able to make their own decisions in this situation. If being married, you are a partnership, and that includes financials. Believe me, as someone who went through a divorce, that will matter later. Stuff like that matters later. So they deserve to know. And honestly, legally, they deserve to know things like this. I'm not going to get too into the nitty-gritty, but they do. So tell your wife about it. Let her make her own decision on how to handle the situation. I don't know your whole situation. Don't come at me if it's like, well, what if this and what if with all these like hypotheticals. I don't know your situation, but you have not given me enough information to think there's a big, scary reason why you shouldn't tell your wife other than you just haven't. So please just have an honest conversation. This isn't cool. It's not cool to leave someone in the dark about their one half of their entire financial future, essentially. Sorry to go so hard. It's just I have literally been in your wife's situation. Again, a little better in yours because you are paying some bills and you do have money coming in. I was not so lucky, and it is devastating, and it is really hard to come back from. It is, you waste years of your life trying to come back from it sometimes, and especially when you have not been even given the opportunity to try to fix it or try to, all because of someone's own pride. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I got a little heated there. Next, you have one of the sexiest voices I've ever heard. Thank you. Which pairs perfectly with your beautiful personality. I have a serious crush on you. Oh, and super talented writer. Love your stories. Well, aren't you just the most biggest flatterer? Most biggest flatterer. You just called me a talented writer. Look at me. Thank you. That is nice to hear. Look, I'm not immune to flattery at all. I've always said that. I love it. I love adulation as much as the next guy. I'll say it. I watched that the Maria Callas movie starring Angelina Jolie, and there's a scene where Maria is like, I'm going to the cafe downstairs. I want to be adored. And yeah, I get that. I was like, yes, Maria, I understand that. I get it. She also lived alone, and she had like a butler and a maid, but like, I have a cat, not a butler and a maid. She had little dogs, I think. So like, but I get it. Sometimes you just want to feel adored. You don't get it all the time. So yeah. So the next several are smut. I won't subject you to those. So we'll skip, and we'll scroll, and we'll scroll, and we'll scroll. These are probably all sent in by the same person because it looks like they were rapidly sent in at the same time. Okay, here we are. I am writing a novel and wondering if you'd like to read the first draft of part 1. I'm not saying I would not like to, but I don't have time to. I'm actually glad I just read this because a friend of mine sent me the script for a short film they're doing, and I have not read that. First person or second question, whenever that was, asked about staying focused. I'll take any tips. So no, please don't. Not in any sort of way. I'm sure it's wonderful. I just do not have the time at the moment to read any first drafts and give any notes at this moment. But thank you for thinking of me, because that I do not take it lightly that you would have wanted my feedback, or I think that's what you'd want. You just said if I'd like to read the first draft of part 1, but I'm just making assumptions. So yeah, I'm unfortunately not able to do that at the moment. How do you deal with self-doubt? I'm sure it took a lot of courage to start a podcast and branch out into a new career. How did you navigate the anxiety that inevitably came with this? It was definitely just kind of jumping off into, for one, I didn't think anyone would ever listen to it. So I wasn't that worried. I remember pulling out my phone. I've told this before, my first host site, Audio Boom, I emailed them the first time I started getting a lot of listeners, genuinely asking them to fix my account because it was broken. It was glitched because there was no way I had thousands of listeners. Like, I asked them to fix it and see what the glitch was. So I just thought, it's kind of a joke now on like TikTok. Like, I didn't think this would blow up. That's how I felt about my podcast. It was more of a way for me to get out, put my short stories in a place. So maybe I was kind of like, oh, well, maybe I could send these audio versions of my short stories to publishers. That's not how you get published. But I didn't know that at the time. So I was like, well, maybe if I'm different, I can do that. And so it was like kind of the podcast was like almost secondary to all my other goals, which was eventually writing a novel or putting together an anthology book. And this, though, how did you navigate the anxiety that inevitably came with this? You just grow thicker skin. I came from a lot of different jobs and things too, and doing background where people aren't exactly gentle with their words towards you. So that helped. But, reviews can be cruel. I've gone through phases where I can't read reviews. Like, I don't think I've read my Apple reviews in a long time, just because sometimes they would be, those would really sting. I don't know why. And I have a few friends who are very big podcasters. I won't name them because it's their own business, but they don't read reviews either. However, in this new world, now that people can comment, like on Spotify, the Spotify comments, I'll read those. Sometimes I'll go a while without reading them, but then I'll go scroll back and see how they did, especially on particular episodes. I'll go see how they were received, how the episodes were received, or if I know that I asked for like feedback, or like the true stories and dark Reddits where I'm like, oh, what do you think of this? I love to see what you guys think of it. So it's gotten a little easier, but there's an anxiety. The initial anxiety is what people close to you will think, and then that grows into what the masses think and retaining those masses, and it becomes a different type of anxiety. But you just have to, there's like a bit of advice I saw a long time ago. I don't know, I might have mentioned this in the first part of the Q&A already, because it's one of my favorite bits. It's like, right? Like your parents are never going to read it. And that's kind of goes for like content creation. It works until it's silly until it's not. It's laughable until it's not. So I don't know if that's the exact anxiety you're talking about. There's different anxieties now, like lack of time, finances, trying not to put all your eggs in one basket, wanting to achieve different dreams with, what you've built. Like I said, my goal my whole life has been to write a novel. And I know I will someday. I know I will. With your help, everyone out there, your support. Not your help, but your support. So it's like a different type of anxiety. It's like, when do I do that? When do I do that? When I have a weekly podcast, plus 2 other podcasts I do now, plus the, I've told you, the more corporate work that I do to supplement my income, plus not being a hermit, It's like different anxieties that come up, and you just kind of tackle them as they come. I've become a lot less of an anxious person these days. I don't know if it's because of the show or because of just many things that have happened in my life, but I don't know. I do have nights where I can't sleep though because of this show. I've said it. I think I said it in the last one. Yeah, I did. Where like I really do. I sit and I'll have nights where I just cannot sleep because I just feel like, oh, my whole audience is going to go away. And what do I do then? What do I do if I lose them all? And so my only tip for that is, it gets better. It gets a little less. I have less nights that I can't sleep. I throw myself into a lot of other projects, so I'm not focusing on like one particular anxiety. So just give yourself lots of different anxieties. Stupid advice. I clearly am good. It's a good thing I never tried to start an advice column. Am I right? What was your favorite memory of your day? Oh, that's nice. When I walked to the grocery store to go buy some different flavored tropical teas to brew into iced tea. That was just kind of nice. I talked to a friend of mine on Marco Polo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that app. Talked to a friend of mine on that while I had my little walk. Walked by a big trash truck up close, and I was like, when I was on the phone, I was like, I understand why little kids love big trucks. They're pretty awesome. Got out in the sun, got a little movement, and yeah, it was just kind of nice. Long-time listener here, you've inspired me, amongst others, to finally launch my own podcast. Congrats. Actually, I'm launching 2. Good luck. They wrote Any tips? I know you've spoken about this before, but would love to hear what you would have wished someone would have told you when you started. Thanks. Do make a trailer and do promo swaps. Cold call or cold email different shows around your size. Start out with shows around your size. You can try for some bigger shows, but bigger shows tend to get a little overwhelmed. And there's a kind of it's a tit for tat kind of thing of like, I have this many listeners, you have this many listeners. So like a bigger show might be like, okay, I'll run your promo once and you run mine 3 times to like even it out. Sometimes they'll offer you that. Sometimes not. Sometimes they'll just run your promo, but try doing promo swaps with other shows. Grow your audience that way. Don't pay for ads. If anyone tells you to pay for ads, don't do it. It doesn't work. Organic word of mouth is what works best for podcasts in my experience. And promo swaps will help that because people will go listen to a show they like and hear your voice, hear your pitch essentially through your trailer, and they'll decide to come listen to you. The amount of times I've heard, oh, I heard you through this show or that show, or I heard your promo on this show, has been lovely. And then you meet friends. You meet friends in the industry. All my friends I have in the industry it's so funny to watch all of us grow. We've talked about it over the years. It's so, we started, from being little. And now I have a few friends who also, this is their career. This is what they do for a living. Many much bigger than me. Much bigger, buying houses and shit. So, and I'm so happy for them. I love that for them. It's wonderful to meet friends in such a strange way through cold emailing and then watching everyone do what they're doing. And it's lovely. It's a really wonderful feeling. So yeah, cold email people. Just be like, hey, I have the show. You have a show that I think your audience might like what I'm doing over here. Would you be open to a promo swap? Have your trailer ready and maybe some talking points as well, and tell them, and then they would play your trailer before an episode or 2 episodes. You can work out how many, and you will play theirs as well before your one or 2 or 3 of your episodes, however many you decide. And you can do a pre or mid roll depending on what you're comfortable with. They might tell you that, especially the bigger shows, they're a little more, they understand where their ads kind of go, so they might be like, I can do a pre, mid, or post roll, and whatever you're comfortable with. Honestly, when you're first starting out, just be like, yes, wherever you'd like to put me. Not forever. You can start being more discerning after that, but at first, yeah, just reach out to people. Like I said, you can try to reach out to the bigger shows. It's just a little bit of a harder sell. Find people on Instagram. Google your butt off. Make sure you know how to use your equipment to the best of its abilities. You don't need expensive equipment to start out. I did not start out with expensive equipment. I have expensive equipment now. I did not start out that way. I don't even have the most expensive. Like, there are some mics that go up there, and I don't have those. I have a couple. I have 3 microphones now, and none of them are like the majorly expensive ones, but like, you can start out with something more price friendly and just learn to use it though. Watch tutorials. Those microphone companies have tutorial videos usually on their websites. Watch them. That's what I did. I watched them, learn how to use them properly, get your sound really correct, learn how to edit. Unless you're starting out ahead of where I was broker than I was super poor at the time, so I couldn't like afford to hire an editor or anything. So maybe you can, which is cool. Again, starting out ahead. But if not, just learn how to edit, learn how to use your equipment, make a trailer. Yep. Funny, because this was my answer earlier, but guided nightmare suggestion, a labyrinth. That is a good idea. If your fans were interested in crowdfunding a haunted mansion for you, where would you want it located, and how would one go about contributing? You don't have to buy me a haunted mansion. I believe it'll come to me someday. But also, I do have romantic thoughts about living somewhere more, gloomy, because I love the gloom. However, I don't know if I could ever live outside of Southern California. I just love it here. And maybe it's because I've just was born and raised here. I don't know. I just really love it here. But maybe as a vacation home. No, I don't know. Would you all like to crowdfund a place where it's like a timeshare? We all get to stay there. Somewhere in the moors. I don't know. But I appreciate the thought. Hi, Shelby. Just finished your most recent episode. I'm a big Guided Nightmare fan. I'm always commenting, asking for more of them. My fave eps are library and train. I really like it when it's a normal day-to-day human activity location, like my fave eps. It's so normal to be there, but now it's scary. I love that too. Thank you, and there will be more. I really appreciate that. I would love to do more like library and train. I've kind of wanted to go back to the train. I really liked the train. I like trains. I would love to do like a cross-country train trip. I would love to do some of the European ones. Oh my god, I would love to. Like the really fancy first class ones. Ugh, a dream. So maybe we'll go back to the train. We could go back to the library as well. We can go to a different library. There's different trains. There's different libraries. Why not? Let's go back. Next one is no Letterboxd? ? Need your horror recs. Letterboxd stresses me out. Not for I love that other people love it. Xena from Bloody Disgusting Podcast, my co-host and friend, she likes it because it helps her remember what she's seen, because we watch so much, especially for work, that it helps her kind of categorize what she's already seen. And I like that idea. I don't like rating horror movies. I don't like to rate it's not just horror movies, but rating movies. I don't like rating things. It's not my forte. And writing a whole review sounds, doesn't sound fun to me. So I don't know. I've been asked before to get a Letterboxd. I appreciate that you guys want to hear my thoughts on movies or recommendations. I really haven't poked around Letterboxd. Maybe I have a whole different idea of what it is than what it is. So maybe I'll poke around and see if it's for me. But from what I understand, I don't think it is. Next is, a few months ago during a post-show ramble, you mentioned having very specific chocolate chip cookie preferences and that you've tested many recipes. Would love to hear your ideal chocolate chip cookie and any recipe insights. So one thing about chocolate chip cookies is usually there's white sugar and brown sugar, and those two ratios will depending on your ratios of that, will affect the end result of your cookie. I love a chewy, soft cookie. I don't like a hard cookie necessarily. Like, you know what? I'll do a bag of like Famous Amos little like crispy chocolate chip cookies, but when I'm baking them, I don't like them hard. I like them soft, sometimes even gooey. Like, I love a cookie bars where it's basically a chocolate chip cookie recipe, but you put it into like an 8x8 pan and bake it all together, or like a skillet cookie where it's really soft and gooey. I love I love salt on top, sprinkled salt. There's one particular recipe that I love that I've mentioned on the show, and it's like an salted espresso chocolate chip cookie, and it's got like powdered espresso in it. It's got a lot of salt. It's got that recipe uses vanilla bean, but like, whoever has vanilla beans just laying around? I use vanilla extract most of the time. I think I've made it with vanilla beans one time. And that's a really fantastic recipe. I can send it to you if you'd like. But yeah, I love a softer cookie. Oh, and the chocolate chips have to be like semi-sweet. Milk chocolate does not belong in a chocolate chip cookie. It makes it too sweet, to me. I also love walnuts in them every once in a while. Throw a walnut in there. I won't be mad at you. What is your favorite dish to cook that you're most proud of? Question, and you did not intend this at all, it just like depressed the hell out of me. I don't cook for anyone anymore, and I know that's not what you said necessarily, but you said that you're most proud of, and my brain went to like what I would be proud to present, and I can't remember the last time I cooked for anyone. How sad. Probably like I have a really good bolognese recipe I use, and red beans and rice. Like, I love recipes that take like all day to cook. Those are the ones that I'm really like, I love presenting to people, like a beef bourguignon where it's like, this has been cooking for all day and it's full of love and time and care, you know? And like, I love baking bread for people. I make pretty good enchiladas, not gonna lie. Make really good albondigas because I follow my great grandma's recipe. But anyway, I'm going to move on from that. I don't know. You did not mean to make me sad. That's on me. This is on me. Don't feel bad at all. Don't feel bad, please. Who are some of your favorite podcasters? I don't get enough time to listen to podcasts these days, but here, if you like, I love this show called The Rest is History. It's kind of funny and it's very informative. It's got like a lot of random like historical, like I listened to one on Alexander the Great that they did, and it was fantastic. It was so fascinating, and they like argue with each other sometimes too. Like Alexander the Great, a lot of his history is very like up for debate because we don't know a lot about him, and so like they kind of argued about some facts, and that was really interesting to me. There's another one called You're Dead to Me, and it's another history podcast, and they'll have like a historian, a comedian, and I forgot, there's like a third person I think there's on there. There's like the host, but usually there's like a historian and a comedian on there as well. So they'll like tell the story. So the comedian is obviously funny and the historian's there to like give like facts. I love that show. I also love like some like comedy show. Like I love Conan's show. I like him as an interviewer. I like Caleb Huron and Jean-Marco Ceresi, The Downside. I like that show. I like Louis Theroux's show. I don't know how he doesn't update. Or no, he just update. He's been updating. Okay, he goes in like seasons. He's the one who just did that Manosphere documentary. As I said before, I watched or listened to a lot of Last Podcast on the Left before. I haven't, again, it's just because I haven't been listening to podcasts as much recently, but I have been listening to, I love Normal Gossip is another one. That's a fun one. It's literally gossip, like normal people's gossip, like someone who was a dog walker one time and like, like just like random gossip. It's really fun. And it'll be like a whole story with updates and everything. I've been listening to recently Your Own Backyard, which was a true crime. I'm not really into true crime anymore, but I saw a TikTok that piqued my interest where it was about the case and someone was like, I can't, like Your Own Backyard did such a great job and was so respectful in covering this. And like they said something about how he like helped solve it. And I was like, ooh, I'm not reading any further and I'm going to go listen to that. So I've been listening to that. That one came out a while ago, but I'm like the episode I'm on right now is People versus Flores week 1 and 2, and it came out 3 years ago, so I'm pretty behind. But I've been really enjoying the way he presents everything. The Dollop's another fun one for history. It's really funny if you like history. Wow, I listen to a lot of history podcasts. Yeah, like history and comedy. Clearly, I need levity in my life. And yeah, so those are a few that I listen to, but I listen to like other stuff. I listen to other stuff. By the way, this is longer, but everyone in the last one said that they wanted it to be long. They were like, make it as long as possible. So I'm just going to go through the rest of the questions. I think it'll take maybe another like, I don't know how long, but like, well, you'll see because you're listening to it now. Why am I trying to guess? You are in the future. I'm in the past. I don't know. You know. So the next question is, you are such a talented artist. Thank you. Do you prefer to write or voice act? Writing brings me more pride. This most recent episode of Mayfair Watcher Society I wrote, not even most recent because it's my first Mayfair Watcher Society episode I've ever wrote, got such major like accolades in the comments. It was so well received. It was very well received, and people were very kind about the script. And I wasn't in it as an actor, so it was really nice as a writer that it was not because of who I am, as a podcaster. It was because of my writing, and that made me feel much more pride and just I was really, really proud of myself because of that. I think because writing is what I want to be good at. Voice acting I've gotten better at over the years, but I'm so happy when people like it makes me so happy when I'm a guest on a show and in the comments someone will be like, it's Shelby, like, and you guys are so kind, like you have no idea. It boosts my self-esteem like thousands of %. It's like, oh man, when I see people who are like, oh my God, Shelby's here. It was just so great. Like someone said, like, you got Shelby. It was on something. I don't remember what it was. Was it Creepy or like Creepaway Camp, or it was something like that. And I was like, oh my God, you got me. Like I was some sort of celebrity or something. It was amazing. Like walking on air. But I do feel more personal pride when it comes to writing. Next is, hi Shelby, longtime listener, here all the way from little old New Zealand. I love your original work. My question is, would you ever consider making any original work loosely based on a New Zealand true crime? For instance, I live in the town I live, Dunedin. I think that's how you say it. I'm so sorry. Dunedin. We have the Bain family murders. Thanks for your time. I don't really feel comfortable personally creating fiction around true crime. It is something that is done very well by others. It's not something I'm super interested in, and I have seen it done very distastefully in my submissions. People have submitted things to me that have made me a little uncomfortable the way that it was like a true story was handled, because these are real people. And I think it can be done it's been done very well. I've enjoyed the way it's been done before, but it's a delicate process, and it's not one that I care to really. You'd have to have a passion for it, and I just don't, to handle it in the way it needs to be handled, basically. What's a story you've always wanted to write but the words never came out right? I have one, and I'm not going to tell you. And I know that's such a bitch move. Like, wow, what a dick. But I have one, and I know the words will come to me someday. And then they haven't yet. But I have that. I have one. It's a secret for now. So, sorry. Next. Hey, Shelby, I listened to your podcast all day at work, and it's such a nice escape. It's even made me consider making a podcast myself. I know you've spoken about copyright before, but how do you get around copyright issues surrounding Reddit posts? I'm from the UK. I'm not sure if it's different. It probably is. I don't feel comfortable at all giving you any advice about copyright because you're in the UK. However, here there is fair use law. You've probably seen it if you ever watch reaction YouTubers or like video essayists, anyone who's using like clips from TikTok or movies or whatever. And fair use law is like you're commenting on it, essentially. Like, here's an example of part of it. It's like long, obviously, because it's a law, but here's a disclaimer you've probably seen a lot. In the copyright laws of the United States recognize a fair use of copyrighted content, Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act. Notwithstanding the provisions of Section 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction in copies or phone records, or by any other means specified by that section for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, or research, is not an infringement of copyright. And then they'll usually follow it up with like, this video and our YouTube channel in general may contain certain copyrighted works that were not specifically authorized, blah, 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 blah. So I comment on them. I critique. I report. You know, I feel comfortable in that. Of course, if anyone ever was like, take this down, I would not argue. I wouldn't argue one bit. But again, I'm in the US. You are in the UK. Please look up your own laws and do not listen to me. Next is not really a question, but please, please, please make more true horror and dark Reddit episodes. I've listened to all of them at least 5 times each, and I need more, please. XXX. I try to keep on Reddit and dark Reddit and true horror at least once a month. Those episodes are actually my best performing ones, but I do, love to go back to my good old fiction. That's what I started this show for. But, I do them. I think I do them quite a bit. But do you want more of them? Answer below. Do you want more of them? I guess I could do more of them. I just wanted to balance them with like other stuff in fiction. But I try to do the true horror or dark Reddit at least once a month. So, what's the best way to shoot my shot? LOL. Asking for a friend. In parentheses, me. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I've been having a crisis of romance in my own head. I don't know. Sorry. I just don't. Next. Do you have any story ideas that you are having a hard time putting into a format suitable for an audio podcast? Yes. As the other one that was kind of similar to this, as I answer that one, and I won't tell you what. But yes. Describe your perfect date. Wow. These are like, it's like I got the same question like sandwiched in between each other. Maybe the person earlier who was like talking about skinnamarink and drinking a beer. That sounds great. Are we talking like a first date? Or like, have we been dating for a while and this is the perfect date? Those are two different things. Because like a first date, like, yeah, let's just like grab a beer or some coffee, probably coffee during the day. Not a movie, because then you can't talk, but like get to know each other. If we've been dating, then like, I don't know what my perfect date would like. Going to a bookstore maybe would be fun, because then we could like compare like what we like to read, or like you could watch me sit on the floor and dig through piles of books, which is what I love to do on my days off. And I tell people too, like, I'll go to bookstores, like used bookstores with friends. Like there's one here called the Iliad, and it's like, it literally has like boxes, piles everywhere of books. And me going to a bookstore with a friend is a much different thing than me going alone, because And that's one thing I've always thought. I was like, man, wouldn't it be so cruel to find, like, not cruel, cool to find someone who was cool with me, like, just existing with me in the space of a used bookstore where I really, like, lock in and I'm, like, digging through and I'm looking at all these different, and they just find that charming of me, or they're alongside of me digging with me. And that would be great, because man, oh man, my friends won't do it. And I don't blame them. It's who wants to watch, like, they want to browse like a normal person and just browse the shelves or look for one specific thing. I have friends who are like, I'm here for one specific thing, or like this type of book, like annotated books or whatever. And I'm not. I am a feral creature when it comes to used bookstores. You were asking about a perfect date, and here I am, like, because that would be a perfect date for me. Be like going to a used bookstore, having a coffee later, because good used bookstores don't allow you to have food or drinks, getting a little sweet treat or something, then going to, if we have been dating a while, going to a movie. Wouldn't that be nice? This next one asks, boxers, briefs, or commando? None of the above. I don't wear any of those. Is this for me, or like what I prefer on someone else? Not commando, that's for sure. But also, I don't really understand the question. Next, have you encountered any ghosts lately? No, and what a bummer. I want to go on like a ghost hunt. Wouldn't that be? I want to go on one. I think that'd be fun. I was talking to like the Hometown Ghost Stories guys recently, and like that just sounds like a blast. I want to go see a ghost. Next, hey Shelby, I've been listening to Scare You to Sleep pretty much since the beginning, and you're my absolute favorite. Oh my god, thank you. So I want to know if you have any recording/podcast advice for people starting one on their own. I trust your experience and knowledge. I appreciate that. I did answer that earlier. So I don't know if anyone listening to this right now would want me to recap that. What else? Did I have any extra advice that I forgot? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm sure there is, but like you heard earlier, but thank you so much. And I appreciate you thinking I give good advice, or I would give good advice, because jury's out, honestly. Here's more smut. Do you want to hear some of the smut? Scare me to sleep. I wish it was suck me to sleep. Okay. Next. Let us know if you need help moving to Canada. I know. I'm a little worried about my trip later this year. Finally going out of the country for the first time in my fucking life. Taking my first... Because I talked about this before. I've never taken a vacation as an adult. Like, I've never, as an adult, gone on vacation. I didn't have a honeymoon. I never had a honeymoon. Never went on vacation with my ex. I've never done that before. Finally going on one. And this goddamn... I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, sure. Are you, like, in what way? Do I have to marry someone? Or, like, what's the deal? Hit me up later. Per your request, here are some of my guided nightmare location ideas. Thank you. Abandoned shopping mall, empty high school, state fairgrounds, movie theater, water park. Ooh, does anybody watch The Pit? Water park. And would love a Backrooms Part 2 or second date night. XOXO, Margot. Thank you, Margot. You know, I would love to do a Backrooms Part 2 because the movie's coming out. I think that'd be fun. But the second date night, people really, really did not like that one. The date night guided nightmare. I got a lot of really very constructive much constructive criticisms for that one. No one was like outright mean. I mean, maybe there were, but I don't remember. But people didn't like that one. Like, I was a little bit embarrassed actually about that one because people were like, this was weird. This was too weird. And I didn't like it. So to hear you liked it is actually, it's awesome. But I don't know if I'll do another one because apparently people really thought it was stupid and weird. So if you did like it, sound off because I thought people really hated it. Next, what is it like? Oh, but by the way, thank you so much for all the suggestions. I really appreciate that. What is it like having so many strangers feel... Did I read this one last time? I might have. What is it like having so many strangers feel connected to you? I love falling asleep to my close friend telling me scary bedtime stories, but it's wild when I think about how we've never actually met. It's not, it's me. It feels very good. I might have answered this last time, and if I did, I apologize. It feels very good. I also have creators who have helped me through a lot, I feel like there definitely is like a parasocial aspect, but I think you can have, I don't know, like there's a parasocial aspect, but you can be not weird about it, because it does feel like this person got me through this. There's a creator of mine, See, I'm doing it. I'm doing the parasocial thing. But like, there was this video that got me through a very ugly, dark time. And it was this ASMR video, and this creator unlisted it for, I'm sure, personal reasons. I think they might have mentioned, it's so funny, they might have mentioned a past relationship or something in the video, like offhand. But anyway, I was kind of devastated because I was like, no, wait, that's my, like, that's like my bad place video. I need that video. But I didn't reach out and say, like, why did you delete? But I did see comments from other people who were like, why would you take that down? I need it. But I didn't feel comfortable doing that because it was like they clearly unlisted it for a reason. I don't think judging by what this creator had talked about in recent videos, I don't think it was because they thought it was a bad video. I could pick up the context. I was parasocial enough, actually. I could pick up the context clues that it was probably for a reason, a very personal reason. So that all said, I do feel, it makes me feel very good, and I am on both sides of this feeling, this parasocial feeling. I do feel privileged in that because I feel like I do understand it a little more. And I've met creators who don't have that feeling towards other creators ever. So when it's done towards them, it really unsettles them. But I understand, like, I fully understand that feeling. And I genuinely, like I get it. I don't feel like it's weird if you, like, there's sometimes, especially in my, like, more lonely days where I just listen to podcasts constantly and I didn't really have friends. There would be times where I'd be like, oh, my friend said this, but it wasn't a friend, it was a podcaster. I would totally do that. Be like, oh yeah, my friend was talking about this the other day. It was not a real life friend. It was a podcast friend who in my head brought me much comfort. And I wasn't like about to go stalk them or anything or even write to them, but the comfort that is there, I don't know. It's undeniable, and I feel it feels good to know that I am that for other people because I know the feeling of comfort it brings. And if I can be that for other people, what a beautiful thing to have accomplished in life, what a beautiful thing. So yeah, I don't feel like it's weird at all. You didn't say it was weird, but like, I'm just saying, I don't think it's weird at all. I just wanted to tell you, if my pipe dream ever came true and I won a life-changing lottery, I would pay off your medical bills, no questions asked, and nothing expected in return. That is very kind of you. Very kind of you. I have them on a payment plan. They'll be paid off in a few years. In a few years, they'll get all their money. Slowly they're trickling in, they're getting all their money. It's expensive for your fucking gallbladder to try to kill you. You almost die, and it's like, are you in debt for this long, or do you die? And I'm one of the lucky Americans who got to make that choice. So, but I appreciate you saying that. That is a very kind thought. Love your writing. Keep up the great work. I enjoy your podcast tremendously. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is there a possibility of making CDs or cassettes of some of your episodes? I hope it's not too ungrateful of me. I understand you already work so hard. I'd love to leave that idea in your head, though. Lots of love for you and your show. And by the way, the next one says, my girlfriend already asked this, but we would love a CD or cassette of some episodes. I would love that too. I don't know how to make that happen. I've seen other shows, like bigger shows, have that opportunity. I've never looked into it. I don't know how much it would cost Like on my end, I don't know how to go about it. If the opportunity ever comes up, I would love that. I would love to. That would be really cool to have a CD of my own show. Like, I think that'd be fucking metal, man. And this next one is, hi Shelby, I wanted to let you know that you've helped me a lot. I have in my past, started as a kid, been a cutter. I cut mostly at night when my girls would go to bed. I found Scary to Sleep and a friend in your voice, and it relaxed my brain, so I didn't cut. Thank you for that. Hey, I'm so happy to be your friend that helps you not cut. I'm so happy for that, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing better. You know, I know it's a journey, and I hope that you are kicking ass, and I'm happy that anything I do could be of any service to you in that way. And all my love to you. Next is, Shelby Shark instantly makes me think of Baby Shark, just so you know, with a little emoji with the tongue sticking out. Shelby Shark was around before Baby Shark, okay? Shelby Shark started, I probably told this on the show before, when I was being bullied in elementary school. It's so dumb. I'm not, like, it's not, don't worry about it. I'm not, like, still bitter about it or anything. It's just a fact. When I was a kid, I don't know, all the kids on the playground started this game called Shelby Shark, and they would get on the jungle gym, and I couldn't get on the jungle. I wasn't allowed to get on the jungle gym, and I would run around and try to tag them, and they would try to stay away from the Shelby Shark. And man, I haven't really thought about the origin of that in a while. There was like more to the game that was like even meaner. And like, then when I got close to the jungle gym, I remember one girl in particular, I won't name her name. She would yell, like I remember her yelling like, ew, it's the Shelby Shark, everybody run. And they would like run to a whole different part of the playground. Again, it's fine. I'm fine. But that they said it was called Shelby Shark, and so I started using it when I got older as like my gamer tag and stuff, and my username on stuff, just cause I don't know, it's a fun alliteration. I also love sharks. I went through a big like I want to be a marine biologist phase, as many of us do as children, and I was so into sharks. I loved sharks, so kind of like fit, you know, reclaiming my childhood bullying. So it's been around longer than Baby Shark. If it reminds you of Baby Shark, then maybe you're a baby. Have you thought about that? Next is, hopefully this message counteracts a mean one from what I've heard in your work and rambles. You're an amazing, resilient, intelligent, funny person. Your story is inspiring, turning multiple dead ends into a successful career. I look forward to each new episode and enjoy revisiting your body. I cannot tell you how much this means to me. In fact, it's like kind of making me want to cry right now. I can't cry. I've cried too many times on this show. I can't cry on the show. This is really, 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 really kind of you. And as I've mentioned so many times, sometimes in my new life, as much as I've become such a happier, more open person, it does get to where sometimes I don't feel seen at all. Like, sometimes I feel like there's no one to see me. And so this means a lot. Thank you. If I talk more about it, I'm going to cry. And I don't want to cry on the show. No one wants to hear that. But just know that it means a whole lot to me. And I'll be thinking about this message well past this episode. So thank you. Oh, well, we're down to the last two. So this is the penultimate question. What has been some of your favorite stories through the years? It's hard to remember. Like, there's a few that stick out. It's hard to remember, like, titles. I'm very bad at remembering titles. But, like, the Journal and the Barracks one, Death's Witness, The Demons Like Pie 2, which isn't even the real title of it. People always call it that. That's not even the title of the story. Marvin's Tavern. In Cropsburg Keep is one of my favorites ever. I like a lot of the classics, but then I have a lot of them on the show that, like, it's funny because sometimes these, like, authors will submit another story like years later, And they'll be like, I don't know if you remember me, but I will. I'll be like, oh my God, you did this one and I loved that story. But it's like I have to have sparks of like inspiration to remember them. I mean, I do the show every week, you know, and they're all my little babies and my children. But it's hard to think of like just right off the top of my head. Yeah, I named a few though. Yeah, there's a few right there. If Scare You to Sleep was... Oh, this is the last question, by the way. If Scare You to Sleep was an anthology TV show, what stories/episodes would you want to see brought to life in season 1? Hopefully this makes sense, LOL. It makes perfect sense. All of my stories. Yeah, I'm going to be that guy. All my stories. Mine. I want to see all of my stories brought to life. What a dream, right? And I know it's like scary because it's your babies or whatever, but like, I want to see my story. I would love to see my stories turned into short films or like an anthology TV show. Hell yeah. All of mine. Thank you. I was going to say next question. There are none. That's it. That's all the questions. Of course, you can always send in more questions. The link is still in the show notes. I'm just going to keep it there. Just see if we, once we get a few, maybe in a few months or a year or whenever, can do this all again, So if you have any questions, go ahead and send them over. Thank you so much to all of those who sent in questions. That was so many questions. I had no idea. You all know so much more about me now. I didn't even honestly read all of them. There were a couple that just didn't feel... there was a lot of smut. There was no point in reading that. I mean, except for like, those who want to hear that. But I feel like the majority doesn't. So I'm saving the majority from hearing the smut. But yeah, thank you so much. This means a whole lot to me. These always give me a lot to like think about too, and the reactions to them. Like whenever I'll like the last one I released it, and then there were all these comments about that one, and it gives me like not a crisis of self, but like a good sense of self. Like it makes me very introspective to do these episodes. And I mean, I recommend doing this with maybe friends and family. Let's do like a anonymous questions night. I don't know. Then again, that probably doesn't ever work out very well with like IRL people, I don't know. But yeah, I really appreciate this. I hope you're all having a great week. And feel free to send me more questions. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to comment. I really love to hear from all of you. And I really do stay up at night worrying that you'll all go away. And it terrifies me. So I clearly love you all very, very much from the bottom of my heart and appreciate everything you do for me. You've done a lot. You've all done a lot for me over the years. And yeah, I'm going to let you go because it's an hour 44 into this episode. Some of you maybe hopefully are actually asleep. Are you having dreams about me? If you're asleep right now, can you hear me in your dream? Are you dreaming about me? Have any of you ever had a dream about me? I'm always dreaming about like people I know or even people like podcasters and things and celebrities. Has anyone out there ever had a dream about me? That'd be so cool. If you do, just tell me. I love telling people my dreams. I'm annoying like that. I'm so annoying. I love, like if someone's in my dream, I want to tell them about it. Like the amount of times there's two people I know in particular who are also podcasters, so I won't name them. But I've had dreams of us going to Australia together. And I'm always like, oh my God, you guys, we went to Australia again in my dream last night. Like seriously, so many times. It's really weird. Honestly, it feels prophetic. It's strange. But anyway, yeah, tell me about your dreams if you dream about me. And I hope you're having a great evening, night. Go bake something or buy a baked good from a local bakery or whatever. Drink water and tea and Diet Coke and beer and coffee. Go get some sleep. Sweet dreams.